real cases before a real judge.
And now, enter the courtroom of Judge Mathis.
Plaintiff Lanika Howard was friends with the defendant, and Lanika invited the defendant's son into her home to play with her son. However, Lanika says after the defendant's son burglarized her home, the defendant had him incarcerated because she could not control him. She's suing for the stolen property. Defendant Yuzuri Day Bennett insists the only reason her son started acting out is because he was medicated for a disorder. Yuzuri says after her son confessed to stealing Lanika's property, Lanika assaulted him, so she's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
Okay. So Yuzuri and I know each other because our ex-spouses were related, and I divorced my spouse and she became a support system for me. She divorced her spouse, I became a support system for her. So we both were single moms. She had a new baby. I was helping her out with her new baby. Her younger son, Hezekiah, is the same age as my son, so I was trying to make a connection with them and have them get to know each other, things like that. So I invited her son to come over and play with my son. So his mother, Yuzuri, gave me and my son a ride to the BART station on a Friday. I was staying the night at my dad's house. So when I came home on Sunday, my house had been broken into. The police came, they took pictures, they did fingerprinting and all of that. So at first, I didn't know who did it, but I felt like her son might have done it because he had already broken into 2 schools in the local neighborhood. He had tried to break into a liquor store, which is next door to a substation in the neighborhood. He already had stolen things from her and her spouse. He also was violent. He tried to stab a homeless lady in the neighborhood. He's been put in facilities and they would let him go because he's on medication, so they can't file charges against him.
No, he's not.
So
he's not on any medication.
He is on medication.
He's not on any medication.
Yes, he is. He might not be on medication now, but he was then.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me allow her to give some background, and then we'll get to the specifics. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was on medication during that time, and
during which time?
During the time that he broke into Miss Howard's house. And
I was going to ask you to give me a little more background on him in particular. She has listed several times that he has committed burglaries.
It was due to medication. Yes, he's been diagnosed.
What was the medication treating him for?
Bipolar and learning disabilities.
Yeah. That means the medication wasn't working, man.
It was like, he had like probably 6 or 7 different medications. I'm talking about like adult doses.
So he did nothing wrong.
No, he did wrong.
Please let me finish. Prior to him getting on medication, he wasn't doing wrong?
No, he wasn't. That's a lie.
So why did you put him on medication?
Because with the schooling that he was in, he wasn't able to function well. He wasn't able to sit still. He wasn't able to learn the things that he needed to learn as a young child. So the doctors recommended me to put him on some type of different type of medication, which the medication that he was on the first time didn't work.
He was never disruptive or caused problems prior to being on medication?
No, Judge, he wasn't.
Okay. Well, he's the first bipolar person that I've ever heard of that didn't have any problems of disruptive behavior. All right, congratulations to you, young man. You made history today. So the medication caused him to do those things, and when did he stop using the medication?
October of last year.
And he hasn't been in any trouble since?
No, Judge.
All right, good. Do you know of any incident since October of 2011?
Well, in October of 2011, after he broke into my house,
When was that again?
That was October 23rd.
When did he stop using his medication?
October the 30th.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
He was incarcerated, Your Honor.
I've watched her give him the medication after that. And yes, he was incarcerated because his mother put him in jail.
Mm-hmm. And that's when he stopped?
Yes.
Upon incarceration?
Yes, sir.
Why did it take him being locked up to stop? Because if something is causing my child to commit criminal acts, my child has burglarized 3 different times, he has been violent, and at some point I find out that it's because of his medication. I stopped giving him his medication, but you never stopped. You never stopped. It was only when he was incarcerated that the medication ended. So why didn't you stop it yourself?
Your Honor, when I stopped the medication in October, I knew then that this medication was affecting his ability of going out, breaking into the schools, and breaking into my best friend's house.
Because he didn't do it after leaving jail?
No, he didn't do it after leaving jail.
You don't think you could attribute that to learning a lesson?
Yes, you're right.
Right. You may not have been the medication, may have been jail.
Yeah.
You don't look like the toughest kid.
Yeah, and he's not, trust me.
Right. And so when you go to jail and you're not tough.
Yeah.
That can teach you very quickly, medicine or not.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So, as I was saying, she put her son in jail because she couldn't control him anymore. And she was ready to make him...
That's what you're supposed to do.
She was ready to make him a ward of the court.
Good. Has he been going to counseling since then?
Yes, sir.
How often?
Once a week.
If my child has burglarized 3 different times, he has been violent, and at some point I find out that it's because of his medication, I stopped giving him his medication. But you never stopped.
Plaintiff Lanika Howard says the defendant's son burglarized her home, and the defendant claims after he confessed to the crime, Lanika assaulted the young boy.
Stand up. State your name.
Hezekiah Bennett.
You've been going to counseling?
Yeah, I've been going for pretty long.
Okay. How often?
Like, just like my mom said, like once a week.
Okay.
Therapy.
All right. Does it help sometime? Does it help?
Yeah, it helps.
All right.
Helps.
Before you were on medication, were you involved in this type of destructive activity?
No.
So why didn't you go to the doctor then?
Because like it was like problems going like on in my life and stuff.
What type of problem?
Like not having my dad and stuff around and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Were you doing anything? Acting out? You weren't?
No.
Okay. How were you doing in school then?
I was doing good.
Okay. Mom, you said the reason he had to go is because he wasn't doing well in school, because he had a learning disorder. Yeah. He just said he was doing well in school.
It was a disabled school.
Okay, but you were doing well.
Not in that school. It was another school.
Okay, young man, you can have a seat. I'm going to leave it alone. Perhaps they need to get the right combination of drugs. But I applaud you for at least giving that tough love, taking him to jail, calling the police, telling him you're going to be a ward of the state. Because time he went to jail, you say he stopped, right?
Yes.
He went to juvenile or jail, that stopped him real quick.
Yes, it did.
All right, so that's tough love works sometimes.
Yes, it does.
With regard to the burglary, what items did he take? You have a list?
Yeah, I do. So the items that he stole were a PlayStation 3, an Xbox 360, a laptop, iPads, iPods, money, jewelry, video games. Basically, he went shopping in my house.
Oh my goodness.
He threw a big rock through my son's back bedroom window.
You was good.
Did you prosecute him, and that's why he was...
I tried to, but they will not press charges against him because he's on medication. They will not do anything. They said, basically, you need to take the mother to court, and I should be happy that she's giving me some money back and some of the items back.
How much has she given you?
She's only giving me $400, and she returned a PlayStation 3, an Xbox, and one laptop.
Drama queen for real.
And you're a liar too.
You is a drama queen for real.
And you're a liar too.
You is a drama queen for real.
And you're a liar too then. I'm a drama queen?
Ma'am?
You
really?
are.
Your son is a burglar.
And you know what? I replaced all your stuff,
You didn't replace anything. You gave me $400.
You need to quit it.
That's it.
I started making payments in October of last year,
and you promised my son that you would pay him back.
$100.
So you lied to my son.
Every 2 weeks. I work.
No.
She don't
She's
work.
lying.
What's your total amount
I do work.
you
You gonna tell me what do you do? In home care of your
Over
blind uncle at home?
$1,000.
That's all you do?
Every 2 weeks,
Bro, you a liar.
I paid her. her.
You're
I'm
a liar.
not on welfare.
You're a liar.
I paid her
I'm not
water.
on welfare either.
Her
but
water,
you on housing though, so you're making it like welfare is a bad
when she
thing.
didn't have people
yes,
to pay
and I
her
gave
water,
you your money
I
back
bought
too.
her food.
You a lie.
Every weekend
you ain't bought
I'm
me
throwing,
nothing.
I'm
Are you
I'm
serious?
throwing family functions.
Are you? And
Everyone
you
is at
invited
my
us.
house.
You didn't cook
Everyone
for me.
is
You
at my
invited
house.
us.
She's jealous
you
of me.
Jealous
That's
of you?
what it is.
What do I have to be jealous of you, honey?
You don't have
Look at me.
anything.
I got plenty
you
of things.
You don't have any. That's why we're here.
You.
That's why your husband is not with
my
you.
house. That's
her
why
husband
we
is
here.
not with her.
I don't
That's
care. I don't
why.
want him.
That's
and
why.
your baby
She's
daddy's
chasing,
not with you
she's
either,
chasing,
boo.
I'm a single
You're
mother
chasing the crack
for 16 years.
That's the problem.
And I have
your son
my
is a crack
own,
baby. That's why he's on
but
medication.
You know what?
Stop it.
That's
Stop it. Why are you bringing her son
Thank
in
you.
this? They're calling
Thank
him
you.
names. Now you're
Thank
showing
you.
a lot of ignorance. Bipolar disorder has absolutely nothing to do with what the parent does. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. She could smoke crack or she could be a nun, and the same thing would happen. It's a chemical disorder that people have, and many of them are highly successful, young man, once they get it under control. So I advise you to keep trying to manage it and keep doing everything you can to get it under control. Go to your therapist, go to your counseling, tell them everything you've done wrong that week. Don't lie to them. So you got to tell them everything so that they can tell you how to deal with it the next time. With regard to the actual items, ma'am, and the emotional stress involved thereof, I'm going to conclude that she is entitled to that. Even if you paid over $1,000, the emotional distress she incurred should be added in to result in the judgment she's asking for. Your counterclaim, how does she owe you for emotional distress, ma'am?
Your Honor, before she served me the papers to go to court, I was at the stop sign. Before that happened, I retrieved all her property. I brought my son to her house. She opened up my side window, my door, and started beating my son. Blood was all in my car, all on my dress, all on my son's shirt. She said and told me, I'm gonna get my family from San Francisco to do something
Did you call
to you.
the police?
No, she told me if I called the police, she stays right around the corner from me.
If you called the police, what?
She told me if I called the police, that things was going to happen to me. You can do a lie detector test on me or anything. He still has a scar on his head from her beating him, uppercutting him.
Yeah, she did.
Well, yeah, describe what happened.
This is what happened. We retrieved the stuff. We went back to her house, and my mom, she told me to say sorry. I said sorry. That's when she came around and opened up my door and started hitting me in my face. And if my mom's car had broke down just like yesterday, if you could see, if you was there, you'll see blood still stains still up in the ceiling of the roof of the car, still blood on the seats and everything.
That's not true.
She did this to my head, and
that is not true.
Applaud you for at least giving that tough love, taking him to jail, calling the police, telling him you're going to be a ward of the state. Because time he went to jail, you say he stopped, right?
Yes.
He went to juvenile or jail, that stopped him real quick.
Yes, it did.
All right.
Plaintiff Lanika Howard says the defendant's son burglarized her home, and the defendant claims after he confessed to the crime, Lanika assaulted the young boy.
He's making this up?
Yes, he is.
The entire story?
Yes, he is, Your Honor. I didn't touch her son.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
I did not touch her son.
I don't believe you.
Okay, Your Honor.
$3,000 is your counterclaim.
Wow,
I believe you did what he said. For you to say that I didn't touch him, I didn't do a
touch her
thing.
son.
That's just how liars say it too.
Okay.
I didn't do nothing.
I
ain't
didn't do
touch him.
anything.
I believe the young man. He described it so concisely, so specifically. She is over here breaking down over what happened, over the memory of what happened to her son. I believe it. $5,000 for you, $3 for you, leaving you with $2. Have a good day.
I'm not jealous of you. I'm not trying to be like you. Jealous of what?
You know what, Lanika? You just tried to run me off the road.
I didn't try to run you off.
You just tried to kill me and my kids.
Why you didn't make a police report?
You know what? Because you're threatening. You're a bully. You're a bully.
I'm a bully.
You is a bully.
I tried to help you, Uzuri.
Help me with what?
With your 5 kids, boo.
But
with your 5 kids. Yeah, you're with you, but you can't handle it. You can't handle it.